Hi guys, how are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Let's give it a few minutes. Sorry for my shitty ass appearance, but I'm at home, right? I'm always gonna just be myself. I'm in a pretty serious mood today because I keep missing these dips, man, during my sleep, or it's just too late. I would have capitalized on that for sure. I even took my loss yesterday. Oh man, I think I'm down like I think I'm kind of broken even actually trading because I'm trading with some large sizes. I'm trading like 700,000, $1 million, just like trying to long some positions, but I keep breaking even because of the choppiness around here. So guys, welcome. I'll give it a minute for people to join. Cheers everybody. I'm having some grape juice. I've just been dealing very well with the stress by working out a lot, actually, by exercising every single day, which I'm not, I'm not like a health professional or anything, but what I do know is that it's very important to take care of your health, especially during very stressful situations. I vape. It's my vice. You bought the dip, but you sold when it was wavering at 92. You missed out on 20K. You know what? That's all right, Almighty Zeus. A lot of people missed out on many, many, many dips. I'm in a long position right now and I'm down $7,000. I think I'm in maybe $1 million long between like just a bunch of coins in my portfolio. Yeah, I'm down about 7K over $1 million position right now. So I'm not having the best day. Yesterday was the same. Yesterday I was at the vet and I was kind of distracted. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just take my loss. I was in a $700,000 long. So I'm just longing like stupid things lately. Okay, let's jump into it, guys. Welcome everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Phil, or Philakone. I've been in crypto for like 10 years now, coming up on February the 6th. It's my 10-year anniversary. I hold a massive portfolio that's doing really shitty right now. In the past few days, how much am I down? I am down, in 7 days, I'm down $1.3 million. The peak of the portfolio was 8.1 million around December, like near the top, like December 10th around when they hit the top. And the lowest that it got in the portfolio this like last year was 4.5 million. So it's swung about 3.6 million in the past few months alone. But of course, since the Trump election, it went up substantially. So the amount that I invested was, I think 2.8 million or something. So now it's at 6.6. So I'm still like all time, I'm at 105%. So it's still doing overall well. My biggest gainers are basically Bitcoin, of course. Actually, Solana is my biggest gainer. I got in at $44.25. And then that's up 333%. And then I'm bleeding away on TIA, FET, and Matic. TIA, I'm down 63% because I bought at the all-time high. FET, I'm down 54% because I bought at the all-time high. And then other big gainers are basically Bitcoin. I got in at 24,500. I'm still holding. And then Ethereum, I got in at around 2250, so it's doing all right. And this has been DCA'd since about the beginning, or sorry, the end of actually, no, I'd be lying. It'd be the beginning of 2023 is where I kind of started to get into position slowly. And I have not sold a single coin yet. Not yet. So in the portfolio, what I'm getting to is like I'm holding very, very strong right now. I adopt 3 different methods of extracting profits from the market. One is my long-term holds, where I understand that the only time to sell is basically on strength as we're going very parabolic, and there will be many metrics and indicators and macro news that I'll be using to exit the market entirely, which I'll be keeping in USDT. Will I actually cash to the bank? No, I'm not going to cash it to the bank. I'm going to probably end up moving it across various exchanges, and especially keeping it on my ledger, and I'll be staking the majority of it as well, and just taking out day to day as I need to, because I want to avoid those capital gains and reinvest it into the next cycle. And then the second way that I extract profit is basically the positions that I just told you about recently, where I'm down like down 6K right now. These would be considered my swing positions, basically, not really day-to-day trading, but more so swing positions, holding for a few days to a week or even 2 weeks. And then the third way that I extract profits is not really possible right now for me to do. And that would be shorting parabolic moves upwards, or just shorting the market when it's too extended. And these are scalping and also day trading positions. But that's not possible right now because the market is not really volatile to the upside. So I'm basically forced to try to look for long entries that I'll be swinging. But of course, it's not going too well for me. It's not going too well for everybody because the market is pretty much destroyed right now, right? So right now, the whole message is that this video is going to be geared towards a bearish view, unfortunately. And we're going to start off with an Elliott wave count, okay? So the way that I view the market is very bullish long term, short term, not so bullish, okay? So my way of looking at Elliott wave right now would be like this, okay? The first wave is the smallest, the third wave is the second biggest, and the fifth wave of the first wave is parabolic. So this now creates a 1, okay? This is the 1, this is the 2 in here with multiple WXY corrections that didn't actually end up working out. So if this is my bias for a 1, that means that this is like a 2 somewhere. And this is gonna probably form a 3 somewhere. That's gonna go parabolic eventually, in my opinion. Okay, so it's gonna eventually go parabolic, and then it's gonna make a 4 and a 5 before 2026. So yes, I do expect a very, very parabolic move up sometime soon. Just don't know how it's gonna be. But the way that I'm viewing this particular wave is I'm viewing it as the first wave as of the third wave that's moving, okay? So the first wave of the third wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I expect pretty much the third wave to finish sometime probably like in May. Like maybe May, like, but the summertime, I expect the third wave top to be in. And then the fourth wave, I expect it to correct. And then the fifth wave will certainly be done sometime in, I'm guessing, between September and November, but definitely not December because of the nature of the market. So this is my bullish view long term. Now, we do care about the long-term view, and it's very difficult for I'm sure it's hard for you guys, it's hard for me, it's hard for everybody to deal with this volatility short term because of course we're seeing 10-20% dips in our portfolios. And many people want to cash out into USDT. They want to wait for a better entry. But I'm telling you, doing things like that is just going to get you wrecked over time when it comes to your long-term portfolio hold. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, is to understand the cycle and how the nature of this market is going to oscillate. And right now, there's not many signs that the bull market is actually over. Because let's go into, for example, some things like Ethereum, okay? So let's take a look at Ethereum. You can see that in every bull market year, okay, this is the monthly returns. This is the quarterly returns. So the quarterly returns in a bull market, for example, in 2017, Ethereum did 527% in the bull market year. In the next bull market year, 2021, Ethereum ended up doing 161%. And this is just quarter one. And this ties into how long it has been after the ROI halving as well. Okay, or sorry, the halving period, and the ROI is going to be very similar. So if you take a look at 2025, sure, we're down a little bit for Q1, but I expect it to be incredibly bullish for Q1 in Ethereum. Maybe not this particular week or next week or the week after, but leading up basically to the end of March, I expect a very bullish Q1. Excuse me. If you take a look at, for example, the bull market years in 2017, right? We had actually a bearish month for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin ended up finishing a little bit lower than when we finished in the year before, right? So in you look at these 2016, we ended up getting like a massive bull month, but then the next month we ended up getting a bearish month. But what I can say is that in 2017, we had 1, 2, 3, and we had 4. We had basically had 4 bearish months out of the 8 months. In 2021, we only had the summers, right? These summers were very difficult to deal with. That's when Bitcoin dominance was dropping. Bitcoin dropped to like 30 something thousand. And then altcoin season started to begin in July, August, September, and October and November, basically. Around there. Around August is where it began. So Q1 right now, we're still above, first month, we're still above from when we began, but it would be untypical it would be very typical rather to have a few bearish months as well. So please understand that. If we take a look at the short-term risk bubble, we can see that in 2017, in the large bull market, so this is 2017, guys, okay? You can see that like this is the beginning of the year, right? We're like green and yellow, and this is where it got parabolic for a while during the summer. It got really bright red. Then near the end of the year, these are where the majority of the gains are made. Like 90% of the possible profits when it goes parabolic is made like in the last month or two of a bull market. So you can see that in a bull market, it gets really high red. This is the short-term bubble risk, okay? So this is how it goes. So you can see that in 2021, it's something very similar as well, okay? In 2021, when it went parabolic, in basically the first half of the year to April, it was very parabolic, very red. Okay, this is basically the Bitcoin rally from like those lows all the way up to from 15K to 69K. But in November, it wasn't nearly as bad. But the point is, there's always one cycle that's going to show you a bright red color like this. But if you take a look at even 2024 and 2025, you don't see anything yet. You don't see anything that's pointing towards the sign of a bubble that's about to collapse yet, because it's still in those neutral types of colors, right? You guys would all agree with me on that. Now, the next thing we'll go over is the, historical risk levels. So the historical risk levels is a measurement from 0 to 1. As it gets higher towards the one side, that's where Bitcoin goes very parabolic, and that's where you're probably gonna wanna exit the market. And then when you combine that with things like the fear and the greed index, in, for example, 2021, right, you're seeing a linear move of green, where the greed is extremely high, and it basically, like if I showed you guys this between 80 to 90, this is the move up relative to the Bitcoin price. You can see that it goes green, 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 green across the board. If you take a look at the conditions of where we're at now, we have not seen that type of green parabolic move up yet at all. So I believe that we're still very early in the cycle, and this short-term dip is going to be necessary for a great reset in terms of fear and greed, in terms of historical risk levels. So every time it's around the 0.6 range, right, it's kind of a neutral range, 0.5, 0.4, 0.6. But you can see that in 2013, the risk literally goes to 1. And then in 2017, it goes to 1 and it goes parabolic. And then in 2021, it goes to 1 as well. So during all of these times, that's where the fear and the greed index is also, like the greed is at the all-time high between 80 and 100. We haven't seen that at all yet. So this is basically the historical risk levels were very low at actually 0.6. So basically, Ethereum Q1 has always been traditionally bullish, right? We see the fear and the greed index hasn't even made a parabolic move up yet to the green side. And we see the historical risk levels, it hasn't really done anything quite yet either. So because of that, I'm still expecting massive parabolic moves to the upside. Also, if you take a look at, for example, the logarithmic value or the fair market value of Bitcoin, you can see that in a bull market, like let's just show 2016 to 2018. You see the year before the bull market that the fair value of Bitcoin, fair market value, is well below the median. And then as it goes towards 2018 to the top of the bull market, it expands well beyond the fair market value. Parabolic, in fact. And then eventually it snaps back down. And the same type of behavior occurred in 2021, where the year before the bull market, you're getting a major move to the downside, and then it parabolically spikes above the fair market value for an extended period of time. And we ask ourselves, have we seen anything like that yet? No, not even close. In fact, we're seeing kind of the same symptoms where 2023, 2024, it stays below the fair market value, and then eventually it's going to snap back up to well above the fair market value pricing. So because of these factors, I still am led to believe that a major move to the upside is happening. It's going to happen very soon. Okay, it's just going to be a matter of how much pain can you take and how well do you understand this market cycle. Because from my perspective, somebody who's a bigger investor than other people, and also probably more invested in the market in general in terms of time, energy, capital than other people, I need to be much more informed than the average person. Otherwise, my bankroll could severely diminish. And I don't want that. I don't want to see it dissipating or evaporating in the air because I'm not following the data enough. And the data is very important to follow. And many people are making these assumptions that, ooh, inauguration, Trump, it's going to skyrocket. Like, let's be real, man. The news of him being the president has already factored into the price of Bitcoin. The catalyst was him getting voted into office as the 47th president on November the 6th when the decision was made. I don't think one speech is going to basically, send crypto to the moon, much more than knowing for a fact that he already won the election. The only thing that could send crypto to the moon is if he said something very direct about crypto and how he's going to endorse it fully and loosen regulation, etc., like that, right? That could send it to the moon. But for now, don't get your hopes too high to think that the news has not been factored into the price already, right? That one piece of evidence that his inauguration is coming up soon, that's going to send Bitcoin to the moon, is not enough of a reason to have a strong conviction to believe that Bitcoin should go up very, very soon, okay? Because I'm going to argue the other side as well, which is the bear side, and the bear side will scare the fuck out of you short term, okay? And now another thing we take a look at is this is the year-to-date ROI, okay? The year-to-date ROI of the bull market years. This is where we are, guys. This is literally where we are. Okay, I'm going to show you something amazing first of all. Do you guys see the coincidence? This is the BTC ROI after halving until it reaches the bull market top. So if you take a look at in 2017, it took 525 days to reach the bull market top. And then in 2021, it took 546 days to reach the market top. Guess what, motherfuckers? We're only on day 265, right? You've seen these dips, like you see it. You see the dip on the 240th day in 1 year, on the 240th day in another year, on the 241st day in this year. And then it bottoms out around 260, maybe 260 here again, but maybe another small dip is going to occur, right? We've seen multiple dips occur before it starts to rally into significant numbers. But if you notice here, like we're only on day 265 of the halving. It would be very naive and prudent to believe that the cycle is going to be cut short just because it's like a different type of cycle, right? Different, like so many things are happening in the world right now. There's so many wars. LA is on fire right now. There's so much shit is happening right now, right? And it would be naive still though to believe that the crypto market is going to end early, because that would completely eliminate the basic idea of economics, which is supply and demand. And the ROI was created to it's going to cut the reward in half. We're not going to go over the importance of the Bitcoin halving, but it's a very important part of the Bitcoin revolution that's preventing like deflation, or it's preventing inflation rather. It's a deflationary method. Also, it's cutting the block rewards in half. So the supply is literally cut in half. So the demand is going to keep skyrocketing, right? So it would be unwise to believe that the cycle is going to be cut short. So it's only going to go up from here. It's just going to be a matter of time, I believe. So hold strong. You can see that in the previous years, there are massive rallies, okay, that end up leading to the high side. But of course, there's going to be diminishing returns. There's going to be some major volatility along the way as well. But you can see right now that we're like on day 8, or day 9 of the bull market year. Look at the next year, how crazy it eventually went, especially 2017. So there's a lot of evidence that's still pointing towards a major bull market to come right now. So let's take a look at the short term and see, that's the long-term picture. Okay, so short term, I'm in a long. I'm in an $800,000 long. I'm down 4,700. I'm fucking around, to be honest. Like, I'm not expecting to make some massive profits from my positions right now. But you can see that Bitcoin is holding very strong here right now. This is a major support level. It's not like, don't think of a support as one number. And if one number gets broken, like hell's gonna break loose. It doesn't work like that. See support as a range. That's better. Okay, you can see that every time it's hit around these levels, okay, it ended up bouncing. But the bad thing about this right now is I see this as a head and shoulders. So let me explain to you guys the mechanics of a head and shoulders pattern from an Elliott wave perspective, okay? So an Elliott wave perspective, wave 3 is the left shoulder, wave 5 is the head, and then after that you basically have an ABC, okay? ABC. It is so rare to see the C truncated like this, where we end up seeing the C like that, and then the C, and then the wave's done, and then all of a sudden we skyrocket to the upside. Rarely are you going to see that. Bullshit if you see that, honestly. Usually you're going to see a break in the headline. So that's how head and shoulders works. So if you take a look at the way that we're looking right now, like I can draw this out very easily for you. This is the truncated wave down over here where it began. So the Elliott wave count just basically goes something like 1, 2. This is the 3. This is the 4, and that's a 5. It goes something like that. Okay, that's the count. Pretty much the count. No matter how you see it, that's the count. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's fucking happened. You can tell that this is the wave 4, right? You can tell the wave 4 because of the congestion. Congestions always happen in a wave 4 like that. Okay, and then the 5th one breaks upwards. So that's the 4th wave. And then the 5th wave, see the 4th wave comes down over here, then the 5th wave goes like that. Okay, so the way that this is working to me, or the way that it's looking, is actually very simple. It's kind of like a horizontal neckline like that. Okay, a horizontal one. Okay, so if that's the 5th wave, could this actually be an ABC? Like maybe a B and a C like that? Or maybe this is even the B down over here, right? It's possible, right? Either way, either is possible in my opinion, okay? It could be like that, it could be like that, okay? But it's definitely not this. It's definitely not this. The reason I say it's not that is I can argue that very simply, okay? I can argue that by saying that if you take the Fibonacci retracement, there is no fucking way that we are this bullish where we have retraced barely 236 Fibonacci level. If this were the case, and I'm wrong, which I wish I was, okay, it would mean that the next wave, due to the fact that this 236 barely retraced at all, this wave's gonna be fucking parabolic to the moon. So if you have a very low retracement like that, it means we're so bullish that the bears can't even retrace further. So it means that the next wave is going to be incredibly parabolic. I don't believe that at all. Okay, so if you even take a look at my theory of how 87K is, this is why I say 87K. It happens to perfectly coincide with, first of all, down over here, and also the 382 Fibonacci level. Okay, that would be an ideal retracement. Not only that, from a fib extension level, it does basically a 1-to-1, like a pretty much a good 1-to-1 extension, which is great. Now, if it did like, you know, a 1618 extension, we would be fucked. If it got down to like 74K, down to the golden ratio, which is also roughly a golden ratio extension, the market would be fucked. Under 74K is where I invalidate the bull market. If we fall below to 74K and break below it, I'm out of the market. And I've calculated how much I would probably lose. My portfolio would probably go down to something like maybe a little bit less than 4 mil. But I'd be happy with that. I'd walk away clean with 4 million, with whatever else I have. I'd wait for the next cycle. I made like, you know, a little bit over $1 million or $2 million this cycle, and actually a lot more than that, factoring in day trading and etc. I'd be happy with that, right? Just wasn't what I expected, right? I don't think we're going to get to the 74K region, but I do believe that we're going to get to 87K. I'm very confident about that. And I believe that this little rally right now that we're seeing to the upside is just like gonna be some dead cat bounce or some, you know, some typical rally. Like right now, we've already rallied from the top. We've already counter corrected almost 382 fib, right? So it's really not that great of a retracement going up already. But you know, the best case that we'll get, maybe it'll be the golden ratio, right? Because you know, you take a look at this case over here. I'll show you guys, like this case from the high to the low, right? This case, high, or sorry, the low to the high. This actually happened to be exactly the golden ratio. And then that's where shorts got wrecked. So, longs got wrecked. And then it's also possible, maybe we'll get back up to here, these ranges over here, right by kind of the golden ratio zones. And then we start to literally parabolically move to the downside to finish off. So the way I'm seeing this, if I have to be extremely clear, it goes something like this, okay? This is the Fibonacci. I think that this is gonna make like a diagonal of some sort, maybe, right? Maybe it's gonna make a diagonal, but I see it getting to, you know, something like this, just to give like a stupid example, right? I don't know if I'm gonna be right or not, but I'm just talking about like an example of something like that, right? Something like that ends up hitting to the fifth wave. But of course, it could go even lower than that. But there's no support. Like if 87K doesn't hold, guys, there's nothing that's gonna hold it. Like it's not gonna. So this section down over here, take a look. This section down over here is literally a free fall. If 87K doesn't hold, the next possible zone is 74K. So from 87K to 74K will be very easy to drop because there's nothing. There's fucking nothing that's even stopping it from free falling. There's no previous data for resistances or support because we went parabolic from 67K to like 94K. So if this doesn't hold, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be a very scary market. But I believe that this is the ABC correction that's going to happen. And once this correction happens, it's going to send it to fucking Valhalla, man. And you guys are going to see like a lightning storm of profits. So am I selling anything? Fuck no, man. I'm gonna endure this because I just see too much risk to sell because of the uncertainty of when this market is going to stop. Okay, so my prediction 87K, but after that I expect it to go to the moon, and I expect this to happen like before February for us to hit a bottom. So I'm gonna wait a little bit to DCA. I got a little bit more cash on hand. Not much at all, okay? So I'm gonna keep going. So let's go to, man, people fucking shilling in the channel. I'm gonna hide them. They're hidden in the channel now. Okay, so let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. So many people here. Anyways, so take a look at the dominance. You want Bitcoin dominance to kind of be neutral or it dropping as Bitcoin goes up, right? That's kind of how you want it to go. But the last thing you want is for Bitcoin to go down and then Bitcoin dominance goes down too, because then people are really heavily selling alts more. So dominance is still going to be where it is, but I want to point out very clearly that the Bitcoin dominance, guys, every time there's a bull market year, it starts to drop. Also, in the new year, it always starts to drop. In 2017, I'm talking about the bull market year. Okay, so you see that it's starting to drop down over here, Bitcoin dominance, and then that's also where altcoin season begins as well, when Bitcoin dominance drops. The same thing happened in 2021, right? Near the end of the year in 2020, the Bitcoin dominance dropped. Here's where the accumulation period was for altcoins. So right now it's starting to drop, but of course it's not dropping like only dropping. There's going to be counter waves as well. So the total 3 looks very congested right now. It looks like the same thing as Bitcoin almost. If you take a look at Bitcoin, you'll see how it looks kind of like that right now, or I'll delete this, but it looks like this where there's like a support level like that. The total 1 looks very, very similar right now in terms of there's a support level for now. Okay, and of course 3 trillion is going to be a very significant support level, and the reason for that is because that was the previous all-time high in 2020 or 2021. So the lowest we can go, in my opinion, is below 3 trillion. Yeah, let's hope that holds. So as it stands for now, right, it made sense to long in these regions to see how it's going to go. I mean, the worst case scenario for the market cap is it ends up forming some sort of descending triangle, and then we figure it out as we go, and this leads to like the middle of March. So ideally, in a long position, you would love the market cap to get back up to here. And then in the total too, it's looking shitty as well. Like it's looking absolutely shitty, right? So you see lower highs, and you're also seeing this type of pattern that leads to literally the middle of February again, right? So total one, you're seeing a pattern that leads to possibly the middle of February in a pattern. In total two, you're seeing the same type of pattern as well. So this is a very likely hit, right? Where the altcoins have maybe like, you know, like 5-6% more of total two market cap to go up there. And then total three is it's actually looking better than the others. It's printing. Altcoins are actually not suffering as much this year than other years. So you see a series of higher lows. Whereas for here, you're not really seeing higher lows. You're seeing like a triangle, like a descending triangle. Here you're seeing like this low in total two was lower than the December low, but total three actually looks really good, right? It looks pretty decent right now. So there's no reason to take a short position, right? There's only reasons to take a long position, in my opinion. If you're betting against a pretty reasonable structure, yeah, you can do that, right? But you got to have a pretty tight stop loss. Of course you can do that, but it would make more sense if the total market caps for 1, 2, or 3 got decimated, and then you took on a short position, in my opinion. So it's not double bottoms, it's more like triple bottoms, man. Well, you just don't know, Clash. That's a good question. If 87 doesn't hold, it will free fall to 74K region. I mean, it could, right? You don't know though. Like it could just find random support as well. It's just that there's no history between like 74K and 87K for us to have to hold. But it doesn't mean that it can't find like a random place. So the reason I'm saying there's no history is because like here's 74K, which is the all-time high from March 14. Here's 87K, right? You take a look at there's nothing. And this goes back, like I'm talking about over here, right? This is why 74K is very important, right? It can probably go a little bit lower too, down to like 72K even, if you factor in like, you know, all these highs and stuff. So 72K, not just 74, right? So, but between here, this region, the green box, there's literally no price action that's like holding anything. So let's take a look at some alts. Let's take a look at, first of all, the alts in my portfolio that you guys can see on the right-hand side. So right now, like, you know, nothing is doing anything out of the ordinary, right? If the market cap does fall, obviously we're going to see some ridiculously low prices. So you have to brace yourself for that. I mean, Polkadot's kind of triple bottomed. You know, Near is triple bottomed for now. Solana is like in the range. You know, nothing is significantly doing well. Nothing at all. They all look the same to me. Like literally they all look the same. Some coins like Beam is not performing that well. You know, IMX is not performing well. How do you gauge a coin not performing well? Well, it went lower than that December drop, right? Some of them are triple bottoming. Some are lower, like for example, IMX. Injective is holding stronger than most coins. Superverse made a much lower low than the December low. So that coin is very weak right now. And then Render is doing pretty well. It's kind of like forming a higher low pattern. Then ADA is doing the same thing as Render roughly. You know, Aether, like XRP is probably doing pretty shitty, or pretty well I meant. Yeah, XRP is doing the exact same thing that we've been expecting it to, which is forming this triangle possible pattern. XRP is most likely going to end up hitting $2. Because I argue that why would it not hit $2 if a coin like what was it, Link did the same thing, right? Like it's kind of like the same thing, lower highs, and then it ends up kind of triple bottoming in this range. So XRP is just kind of lagging behind. Kaspa is doing nothing, man. Kaspa is not even one of those coins you should be holding to take a chance on. It's doing fuck all. It's done fuck all. It's gonna do fuck all. It's not even worth holding, in my opinion, at all. So other than that, like, the market sucks. Brian Chen asks, would you stop your longs at the moment, Phil? Nah. I like to gamble sometimes. There's, like, I'm different though, right? I don't just trade for profit. Right now, I admit I'm not trading for profit. I'm just trading for fun because I feel like fucking gambling on the weekend. And I'm okay to take, like, I'm okay to take a 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 loss sometimes. Because I don't mean, like, I don't know how to say it, but I just don't care, I guess. Like, because sometimes I just want to fucking gamble. And I don't always advertise these positions to the group because it's not positions people would normally take or positions I would advocate to take. When the bull market returns, that's where I would be trading seriously for profit and with the group to make very good calls. And there have been many people expressing to me things with their unhappiness with the group because I'm not making a lot of calls. Well, please understand that it's not possible to make really good calls right now because of the current nature of the market conditions. So we had beautiful, glorious days from November the 6th to like the middle of December, right? Things were just amazing and on fire. Those are the days that we want. Those are the days that we want to exhaust a lot of effort into finding a trade. The other days, man, I'm just going to fuck around and, you know, just take some trades here and there, throw some spaghetti at the wall and see which ones stick. You know what I mean? That's what I'm going to do for fun, right? I'll like, eventually what's going to happen from my reputation and what, like, knowing myself is like, I'll lose like, you know, I'll lose $10,000 like 3-4 times in a row, right? Just because I'm trying to long. And then eventually I'll get that one long right with $1 million position and I'll make like 150K. That's usually how it's going to go. And, you know, I'm always going to take little chances here and there, right? Because I factor in how much I've made overall in the bull market. I factored in how much I've made from day trading in the portfolio, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I'm going to take a little bit more risk than other people. That's why I'm taking on stupid positions sometimes as well that other people may not necessarily take because their risk tolerance is just not as high as mine. So yeah, so I think that right now the market sucks, guys. So I showed you both the bearish scenario and also the bullish scenario. I mean, you know it very well, guys. The bearish scenario sucks, but the bearish scenario is probably so accurate, guys. Right? So, but you know, like we might, like here's like the 2-day candle. The 2-day candle looks pretty damn reasonable. If the 2-day candle closes like this, it might be decent, right? But it's not a guarantee because if you take a look at some other 2-day candles that look just like that, the market fucking got destroyed still. Look at this. Look at this candle right there. Look what happened the next day, right? It pumped up. It dropped like 6%. It rallied like 8%, and then it still dropped. So just because you got a doji candle doesn't really guarantee you a movement, right? Maybe if like a 4-day candle formed like that, it would be really good, right, at the bottom, but it's not a 4-day candle forming, it's a 2-day. And the 4-day has 2 days left to go. The weekly candle just looks like it's gonna fucking shit on your face right now. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's gonna literally shit on your fucking face because it's consolidating for a move down. So we didn't even get into like RSI analysis and stuff yet, okay? So let's take a look at some trend indicators of mine. So on a trend indicator of mine, like this is a very strong trend indicator. So since October or September, this trend has been to the upside on the 4-day chart. Guess what, man? The trend just got broken yesterday or 2 days ago. And now the trend is, if it closes red like this, if it closes below the green line, then you know, then we're gonna probably break to the downside. Like I've seen many people just commenting on the YouTube right now that I've seen many people like be bullish. I've seen many people bearish right now. But what I do know, the consensus is that we're probably going to have another drop to the downside. And the alts are probably going to get wrecked. And Bitcoin is probably going to drop as well. What I do know is that nobody agrees that this is the bottom right here. And then we're just going to go up. That I know. Because I literally spend an hour on the treadmill every day. Right? Like literally. And when I'm working out, I watch YouTube videos of other people just to catch up with the general bias. So I'm spending 2 hours a day literally watching YouTube videos and listening to other people as well. Not that I give a fuck about their opinion, but it's more so just to get an overall consensus of the market. And what I can tell you right now is that we're looking for another downside move. And if anybody really believes that we're, man, fucking Indian people in the group, man. That is why I banned all of them in my Discord group, because they just come on, they fucking spam and they scam. They scam and they fucking spam. I'm not trying to sound like a racist, but I don't want to do business with the majority of people that are going to end up scamming or spamming, you know? So fuck that. So if you take a look at the trend indicator, it's very bearish on the 4-day, right? You take a look at the daily is not looking good either. The daily fell below the trend indicator, right? Here's where Trump got elected, right here. Trump got elected right there. You see the green super trend, it stays green the whole time. Boom, December drops, try to get back up there. You guys remember this $2,000 hit, right? So the $102,000 hit, boom, it falls back below the red line. And now we're red again on the daily. We're bearish on the daily. We're bearish on the 2-day below the trend indicator. We're bearish on the 4-day. On the weekly, guess what, guys? Guess where the weekly chart lies, where the support is on my trend indicator. It's around 88K, close enough to 87K, right? So trend indicator, bearish. RSI is like, there's no bullishly diverging RSI except for here maybe a little bit, right? That's reasonable, but it might just range. MACD is so neutral. MACD is in the middle. We don't know what's going to happen, right? But on the 2-day, the MACD is raging down. On the 4-day, the MACD is raging down. On the weekly, it's raging down right now. It's fucking scary. RSI, you know, it's raging down as well. Hopefully this is not an actual top. It's bearishly diverging on the weekly, right? Between 2024, March 14 and now. And then on the daily, it's the same thing. Or the 4-day, it's the same thing. It's bearishly diverging. So it's definitely showing weakness in the market. But does it mean the market's over? The bull market's over? Probably not. So right now, the only thing I can advise you guys is like, fuck man, good luck with your long positions. You're not going to win them. You're probably not going to win any of your long positions right now, unless it's like a stupid scalp, right? Like scalp short term. But in terms of buying now and hoping that the market's going to really rally to the upside, probably not going to happen, guys. And then other than that, like I'm pretty bearish short term. I think that this is just a corrective wave upwards. Okay, like I want to be clear. I think this is just a corrective wave upwards right now, wherever the fuck it lands. And then eventually it's going to make a gigantic move to the downside. And then 87K is my target. 87K. I don't think we'll get higher than, if we do rally, maybe 88K, or sorry, 98K, 99K, 100K max. And then we're going to feel the pain. I know for a fact we're not going to rally back up above 100K because, or 99.4K because look man, we tried. Okay, we tried once there, twice there, finally broke above it, but guess what? Massive bull trap. So because of that bull trap that occurred, the chances of us performing that feat again is going to be extremely low. So unfortunately, I just think that we're gonna head down to 87K, guys. Fuck. I'll see you guys at the bottom. I'll keep you guys updated. Nobody's happy right now, but hang tight, man. Your job is to deal with your stress. Your job is to make sure you understand this market cycle, because if you don't, you're gonna get wrecked. My invalidation is gonna be $74,000. So right now, the best advice I can give is just enjoy the new year. You know, focus on yourself. Make sure you're trying to improve yourself in some way every single day. Be a better version of yourself than last year. Just because you cannot control or capitalize on the crypto markets right now, it doesn't mean that you can't improve other areas of your life, whether it be family or financially or physically or mentally or socially. So take care of yourself, become a very well-rounded person. Okay, and if you become a very well-rounded person, it's going to contribute to the other areas in your life as well. For example, if you focus on your fitness, if you focus on physical health, you're going to have more endurance, you're going to have more strength, more capacity to handle stress. So when the bull market does come back, that physical transformation of yours, it's going to translate into very positive things in the crypto market as well. Take care of your mental health so you can deal with your strength better. You know, talk to your family, your friends, go touch some grass, right? Go for walks, go do something, right? Just keep improving your life every single way. And eventually when the bull market does return and we find the bottom, you're going to be a better version of yourself and you'll kill the market. So thank you very much for joining me, guys. Like, Yeah, if you enjoy my content, all you gotta do is just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you don't follow me on Twitter already, make sure you guys follow me, Philakone Crypto. I'll see you guys later.